Anywho, you know how all the most insecure men in the country are constantly referring to Trump as an alpha male? Well, possibly the most alpha male of all time, Dave Bautista, confirmed what anybody with a working brain already knows and proceeded to lay out all the ways Trump is the exact opposite of alpha.
Thing that Donald Trump has ever done is divided this country. America will only be great if you vote for me. And that's bullshit. It's not making America great. It's making Donald Trump great. Vote for me so I can pardon myself, do anything I want, and get away with it. Just a regular guy. But when I look up the definition of narcissist, this is who people want running our country. Everything he loses is rigged. When he won in 2016, because he lost the popular vote was rigged. What a whiny little bitch. The fact that he was convicted of 34 felonies, it was rigged. Guilty of fraud because it was rigged. I know why he's so proud of turning up Roe versus Wade. And the reason is because he's a massive piece of shit. This dude got laughed out of the United Nations. That says a lot. It's got to be the system's rigged. I hate Taylor Swift in all capital letters. What's more American than Taylor Swift? Nobody. Talking about Governor Whitmer, who was asking for federal help. He wouldn't return her phone call because she hurt his feelings. Can you think of anything more un-American? Shit all over Obamacare, promising that any week release his health care plan. And next week, we're going to have something very shortly. It's like nothing you've ever seen, except it never fucking came. We love our country so much, stop fucking shitting on it. I'm like Ali right now. Make America great, let's stop all this hate. Love America again.
Anyway, during a recent speaking event, President Biden had one of his trademark gaffes when he accidentally stated the obvious and said that Trump needs to be locked up, but quickly clarified that he meant politically locked up.
Supreme Court ruling on immunity to be able, if need be, if it was the case, to actually physically eliminate, shoot, kill someone who he believes to be a threat to him. I mean, so I know this sounds bizarre. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We gotta lock him up. Politically lock him up.
So Trumpty Dumpty was quick to start whining about that as his next rally, where he said that it's actually illegal for the president to say his political opponent should be locked up.
Who, by the way, said yesterday about me, quote, "We gotta lock him up." I told you. He said, then he denied it. I didn't mean that. Because he's not legally allowed to say. He can't say that. But I've been telling you that. It's election interference. This is all it is. This is illegal and should cause cases.
Cause cases, huh? Well, then you should have a lot more cases against you.
Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up.
Lock her up is right.
I didn't say lock her up.
For what she's done, they should lock her up.
I didn't say lock her up.
Crooked, you should lock her up.
I didn't say lock her up.
Lock up Hillary.
But I guess that doesn't count, since he was only saying Hillary should be locked up. It's not like he ever said that Biden should be locked up while he was president. Oh, wait a minute.
Lock them up. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary.
Whoops. And in more Trump hypocrisy, the guy who can't seem to get through a single one of his rallies without whining about electric cars apparently forgot to mention that his own campaign manager got paid $1 million from a Chinese electric vehicle company called Goshen. Susie Wiles said she doesn't advise Trump on policy. Sometimes I wish I did, and certainly nothing related to autos, etc. I have no visibility into this company. And when asked about the obvious conflict of interest, Trump's VP pick, J.D. Vance, said that he conveniently hadn't heard about it.
Thank you.
Hi, Senator. My name is Hannah Mackey with the Detroit News. You've spoken out against Chinese battery maker Goshen coming to Michigan. Do you have any reaction to the Politico story that says Goshen was paying Trump campaign manager Susie Wiles' lobbying firm nearly $1 million?
No, I don't have a comment because I've never seen that story. I will certainly read that story and try to understand what's going on there, but...
Well, that makes sense, because he was probably too busy going on podcasts and reminding everybody that he should probably be put on an FBI watch list.
You just love your kids so much, right? I mean, you really think the sun shines out their ass. You know, that's kind of how you see children.
Oh, yeah, like Care Bears or whatever?
That's right. Like a Care Bear.
It's an interesting choice of body part for the sun to be shining out of, JD. can't imagine why people call you weird. And in other idiotic self-owns, after Tulsi Gabbard officially joined the Republican Party, after unofficially joining it for the last 8 fucking years, right-wing Twitter shitposter Miles Cheong decided to celebrate by posting a picture of her at the beach, proudly declaring that she was on our team. The only problem is that Cheong doesn't have a team since he's from Malaysia, and the picture he posted is of Padma Lakshmi, not Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi wishes she looked like that, god damn. Anyway, here's your daily reminder that the Republican Party loves a country whose state-run media last week was broadcasting Russia's future plans to nuke America. Yep, definitely looks like they're our friends. Sure glad you jackasses support them more than our own allies. And speaking of national disgrace, Nancy Mace decided to take some time out of her not-so-busy schedule to hop on Twitter and lie to her constituents again, when the South Carolina Congresswoman posted on Twitter bragging about how she helped secure $195 million for a new infrastructure project in the state. But apparently, she forgot to mention that the money for the project actually came from Biden's $4 billion infrastructure bill that she proudly voted against. Voted against a partisan infrastructure package tonight. Read below for my statement. Nah, I'm good. Had enough bullshit out of you for one day. And in other embarrassing memory slips, while the Louisiana Supreme Court was swearing in its newest gaggle of lawyers, eagle-eyed viewers noticed that whoever made the banner in the background apparently forgot how to spell their own state's name. Louisiana. Like, how the hell do you not notice that one? And speaking of court, Jay Johnson, best known as Jimmy Pesto and Bob's Burgers, was sentenced to 1 year in prison for his role in January 6th. And then Germany, who knows a fascist dictator when they see one, dropped a not-so-subtle hint on the cover of one of the country's biggest magazines. Meanwhile, over at CNN, things got a wee bit heated after right-wing dipshit Ryan Girdusky apparently forgot he was on live TV and not shitposting on 4chan when he made what was at best an extremely bad joke and at worst a blatantly racist threat while having a debate with Mehdi Hassan.
By me, I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is that...
Did you just say I should die?
You
should not... No, I did you just say I should be killed?
No, I did not say that. No, I did not say that.
Hold on. Did your guest just say I should be killed on live TV?
I said I hope you...
Guys, let me just stop.
You said you hope my beeper doesn't go off.
Because you said I'm a big supporter
of the Palestinians.
Of Hamas?
Guys, let me stop.
Palestinians.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
I
apologize.
Are you a racist, violent person inciting violence against me?
Ryan,
that's disgusting.
that is completely.
No, I apologize.
Good job, CNN. Let's have first block say the Muslim guy should be blown up on TV.
Don't say then I apologize. You literally.
I thought you said Hamas.
You didn't think I said Hamas. I said I supported Palestinian rights.
Yes, I did.
Why? Because when you hear
what's funny is
Palestinian,
Rudy Giuliani said this yesterday, so you're a great guest to be here to defend Rudy Giuliani.
I wasn't going to entertain nonsense today, and so at this point,
this is what we're in now. This is America in 2024.
Here's what I will say.
Forget the racism.
That's right.
It's I should die.
I didn't say that. You
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I did not say you should die.
Why did you say with my beeper go?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper? No, you didn't. You said, I hope your beeper doesn't go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least have the guts to support your racist comment.
Hang on. I'm so sorry.
Let her bring it back.
This is.
But in a bit of good news, David DePage, the guy that broke into Nancy Pelosi's house with a hammer and attacked her husband, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And right back into the bad news, in preparation for another Trump presidency, American companies are already preparing price hikes to offset his retarded tariff plans. Yeah, sure sounds like this genius is gonna solve inflation. Anyway, the #1 news network in the country continued to really earn that top spot again. I don't know about you, but I certainly hope that Israel wins its fight against Israel. And speaking of news networks failing, Charlamagne the God called out CNN for their double standards when reporting on Trump versus reporting on Kamala in this glorious segment with Anderson Cooper.
You know, Donald Trump, he, you know, for whatever you think about him, if you like him, if you hate him, he is certainly who he is. He's showing us who he is every single day.
Yeah, which is a fascist. And it's crazy because you still don't have news networks having that conversation. Like when somebody says, when somebody questions Kamala Harris's blackness or is he a DEI hire, y'all will have roundtable discussions about that, asking that question. How come you're not having roundtable discussions asking, is Donald Trump a fascist? Actually not even asking it, stating it. I mean, when you look at the things that he's talking about doing, jailing journalists, jailing his political opponents, turning the military on American citizens. The guy said he wanted to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. How come that is not the topic of discussion on networks like CNN every day?
And then it turns out that Trump only has a problem with foreigners taking American jobs from other people's companies, but he's perfectly cool outsourcing American jobs at his own companies after it was revealed by a whistleblower at the company that Devin Nunes, the CEO of Trump's True Social parent company, has pursued an America Last hiring policy. An internal True Social complaint reviewed by ProPublica calls for the firing of CEO Devin Nunes, alleging that he's pursued an America Last hiring policy, consistently lied, and made the company vulnerable to actions by regulators. But, you know, I'm sure that'll amount to a fat load of nothing, since we just re-elected him after everything else he's fucking done. I really doubt this'll be that final nail in the coffin for him. And speaking of things on the fast track to nowhere, Trump just sued CBS for $10 billion, claiming that they deceptively doctored Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Anyway, Arizona GOP Senate candidate Kari went to CNN to embarrass herself for like the 8 millionth time in a row.
To your city, to my city, all across this country.
Do you think people care if you're willing to accept the results of an election that was free and fair and that you filed multiple lawsuits that have not gone anywhere? And I should note, a defamation lawsuit that was filed against you, you did not contest it, from a top Arizona election official that says you lied about him repeatedly.
Well, I think what you meant to ask is Kari, things are really tough right now. And I know that people that are watching...
These are the questions I meant to ask with all due respect. I'm conducting this interview, but you're not answering those questions. And if that's your answer, that's fine. I just wanted to follow up on that.
I think what you meant to ask is how can we get through this difficult time where...
And the one upside to this election is that she's lost. God, what is going on with this filtering and the makeup? I mean, look at the color difference between her face and her neck, man. Like, yeah, these people are fucking insane. And in other Republicans making complete asses out of themselves news, MAGA dipshit and chairman of Students for Trump, so you already know this is gonna be good, Ryan Fournier claimed he got an email from a pollster that leaked him inside polling data. But people noticed something fishy about that email, and well, just watch what happens when you boost the brightness on it a smidge. Turns out the dipshit sent himself a fake email pretending to be a pollster with inside polling data.